he was the inspiration. He was the one who inspired me to want to become a singer-songwriter. Stevie was, you know? And so to later get a contract and be signed to a black label, Solar Records, you know, I was the only white guy on the label.
Wow.
And actually I wasn't. There was another white guy signed to the label, and that was Bill Wolfer. And I guess they decided to stick us together. They didn't know what else to do with us. You know, let's put them together, see what happens. You know, he was the Jacksons keyboard player for like 7 years, Bill. Incredible keyboard player. And stuck us together to work together. But he was friends with Stevie, my idol, because he had worked for Stevie. He programmed he programmed the strings for Village Ghettoland. He programmed that giant mini Moog in the studio, you know. So he introduced me to Stevie. He asked Stevie to come down. He said, Stevie, we got this young guy that sounds like you, man. You can come on down. And I didn't know who was coming in the studio because, you know, the night before it was Rick James. And Rick James was stoned, and he was mean, and he was telling me the world don't need another Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that's helpful.
You know, so when I saw, you know, I was at Alan Zent Studios in L.A., they were all Telefunken, and they had a whole wall full of platinum and gold. I mean, Off the Wall, Thriller, all those records were made there. And so you could see people's reflections as they were coming in the main door. And we were in Studio B with the door open. So I saw this person staggering, and I thought, oh, no, it's Rick James. He's coming back here to just terrorize me, right? And actually later we became really good friends. Rick, you know, is really cool. But I realizing the person that was swaying back and forth was Stevie. He comes around the corner. I couldn't believe it. You know, he just comes in the room. He's
yes,
feeling his way towards the mixing console. And I was speechless, man. There I was, 19 years old, didn't know what to say to him, you know.
Now, I heard you singing with him. I heard that like this morning.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What were the circumstances there?
Well,
was that the first time that
that
sang
was after
with him on stage?
Yeah, that was after the record "Standing on the One" was released. When he visited me, we were in the recording process of that album. That's when I had met him, you know, and he was cool. I was speechless, man. He sat next to me, and I put my hand on him. I went to say something, but nothing came out. I didn't know what to say, you know what I mean? And then I guess he sensed it because he reached over and he just patted my leg like this, you know. And he said, great drum track, man. I like the drum track. You know, I'm like,
yeah.
You know? So he called, what happened is that I had snuck in that concert basically to see him. He was playing at the Circle Star Theater. I didn't sneak in. We actually only had one ticket, me and my buddy. And my buddy was like, hey, John, look, man, I'll get in there. Just take the ticket, man. Go see your boy, you know. And we went in, and I went in, and then he got in, sure enough. And I thought, yeah, I want Stevie to hear my record. So I went to the backstage area. He was just coming off the stage taking a break because he used to do these like 4-hour concerts. He'd do two, take a break, come back for another 2 hours. Amazing. You know? And so he'd go in the back, and I gave the manager an album. I said, hey, can you give this to Stevie? You know, I met him, and, you know, and he would want to hear this. Yeah, okay, he took it in the back. I thought, oh, yeah, nothing will come out of that. Well, he came back on stage, and that's... Is that when did he just invite you up, and you didn't know that was going to happen? Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen. And so that was it, man. I just got called up there. And, you know, being the white guy growing up in a black family, you know, he asked me to do, you know, the Paul McCartney duet.
Yeah.
But I'm a white black dude, so I didn't even know that song. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't know it. You know, I knew all the other stuff. I was saying, no, let's do Boogie I'm Ragged Woman. Let's do this. They did it. Oh, no, you got to be ready for these surprises in professional business, you know. And then he said, we're going to do Ebony and Ivory. And I felt like saying, who told you I was white, man? I wanted to play a trick on him.